Welcome to Leadership Devotionals. For today, our devotional for the week is entitled Desire for God. I will be reading from a text found in the book of Psalms, Psalms chapter 42, verse 1. It says here, "As the deer pants for streams of water, so I long for you, O God." How many of you have experienced thirst? How many of you have experienced that you are, if you can just simply grab a glass of cold water, it will be the best experience for the rest of your life? In November 2019, I had a chance to hike the trail, they called it, to the Kabunian Summit. That's part of the Bacon Trio in Bacon, Benguet. And the trail is just so long and lengthy. We started our trek at around 4 o'clock in the morning, and we arrived back in our place where we stay at around 8 or 9 in the evening already. So you can just imagine all day walking for more than 12 hours. But what was interesting in this part of this trip is that the 3 liters of water that I have brought in my backpack, because the sun was glaring hot, was scorching hot, and there are areas where it's just plain fields, no trees. So just keep on drinking and drinking and drinking water. Keep on sweating, keep on drinking, keep on sweating. Somewhere along in the middle of the trail, my water got consumed. And so I keep on asking the guide, where is the next water source? Well, there is a next water source, but as I go with each step, it seems to be that my inner being was shouting for water, water, water. And you can just imagine when we arrive at the water source. I did not only took gulps of water, but I even wet my head, I wet my face, I wet my chest, because it was just so hot. And so, at that point in time, you will get to realize that when David wrote this, "As the deer panteth for the water, so does my soul long for you, O God." You see, in Psalms 42, the psalmist speak of a longing for God so intense. It's like a dry mouth thirst on a scorching day, the same one that I have experienced. He grieves the fact that he can't be at the temple in Jerusalem. Why is he estranged from his spiritual home? Perhaps he wrote from exile, cut off in Babylon from the place where he found God to be the most authentically present. Wherever he was, far from home, the psalmist cries out, "As the deer pants for streams of water, so I long for you, O God." Fellow leaders, do we have that same kind of thirst, that same intense desire for the presence of God in our life? Do we have that same intense desire for God's leading when we lead our people in our various organizations? The psalmist says we need to become aware of our deep thirst for the living God. God is to the soul what water is to our body, and our thirst bears witness to that need. When we tire of the aridity of our culture, when we despair over our own dryness, when we grow discouraged over the seeming distance of God, all we can do is cry out to God to fill us with the living water. That's a good place to begin. For God is the one who puts the thirst in us, and it's also the same God that will give us living water, and oh, what that will be a satisfaction for us. We were made to be satisfied with the living water of God. And if we recognize our thirst, we are blessed because God is able to satisfy. And so there's something for us to reflect. What makes me aware of my desire for God? What helped me quench the thirst for God's living water? Fellow leaders, there are times when we think we are already self-sufficient in our strategic plans. We are self-sufficient in our organizational setups with the people around us. Let us not forget that God has placed that thirst in us because we were created in His image. And it is only He, our God, can satisfy that thirst. It's not success. It's not growth. It's not our accomplishment and achievements that will give us happiness or give us success or contentment in whatever we have achieved. But rather, it is God, and only God alone satisfies. It's my prayer that in our devotional today, you will recognize that thirst for God in your leadership journey. And you will also draw near to God, who satisfies. God bless you. Hello, fellow leaders. If you have been blessed with the devotional that you have just heard, don't forget to like, share, or subscribe. Because when you do that, more people, more leaders will be blessed with the same blessing that you have experienced. In YouTube channel, click subscribe to Good Shepherd Consultants. God bless you.